Our next fallacy is blind loyalty. We have three examples. Our first example is Dean follows his dad's orders with no questions asked. Dean is the big brother, and as I've stated before, Dean and Sam's father raised them to be soldiers to fight off these monsters that roam the earth as we know it. And Dean is the big brother, so when they were younger, their father would go and fight these monsters and put the boys up in a motel room and leave for a while and then come back. But Dean was the older brother, so he was responsible for Sam. He was taking care of Sam, feeding Sam, making sure Sam was okay because Sam was the youngest. And even well into adulthood, Dean was taking his father's orders and immediately doing what his father said. So, Dean very much so just is loyal blindly to his father, doesn't ask any questions as to what he is asked to do, just does it. Sam follows Ruby's orders with minimal to no questions asked. Sam is part demon, I want to say, and Ruby is a demon that they find along the way who proves to them that she still remembers what it feels like to be human, so she's not like other demons. So she goes to help the Winchester brothers and takes a special interest into Sam because Sam is gaining these powers that he doesn't know, doesn't understand, doesn't know what to do with them. And Ruby begins to show him how to do it, or not to do it, but to how to learn how to use his powers, basically. This causes Sam and Dean to take actions that are themselves questionable. Dean has questionable moments because his father once asks him and Sam to go into a vampire's nest to acquire the Colt, which is a gun that was made by Samuel Colt, in 1835, and there were only 13 bullets made, and the vampires had somehow gotten it, and their father told them, you need to go into this vampire's nest and distract them so that way I can get the gun. Dean had no questions. He just said, okay, Dad, no problem. Sam, on the other hand, was asking questions all the way there. Why are we doing this for Dad? He won't explain to us why we need to do this. We're not children. Dean just told him, you know what, shut up, and we just need to do what Dad needs us to do. And Sam, on the other hand, his questionable actions, since he is part demon, to learn how to utilize his powers well, he has to drink demon blood. And Ruby tells him this, and he is a little hesitant at first, but then he goes along with it and becomes addicted to demon blood. Finally, Dean absorbs what Sam has been saying and rebels. In the episode Salvation, Dean and Sam has always rebelled, but Dean finally takes that step forward and puts his foot down against his father when Dean and Sam are explaining to their father about Sam's visions and the things he's seeing and how a lot of dreams that he has come true. And Dean started explaining, yeah, they started out as nightmares, but then they started happening when he was awake. And his father got upset and said, you know what, you have to call me when things like this happen to me. Happen to your brother. And Dean got upset, and that's when he put his foot down and he said, you know what, Dad? We called you a lot of times and you never answered. Sam called you when I was dying. I called you when Sam was hurt, but we couldn't get you on the phone. And that's when his father looked at him and was just like, you know what, you're right. It was my fault. I apologize. And Sam triggers the apocalypse. While he is following Ruby's orders, he has no idea that by killing a certain demon, he triggers the apocalypse. And it sends it just becomes a whole other issue.